Melo, so I'm going to say goodbye to you and hand you back to Sakina. We promise we'll bring you all those tweets regarding Banyana and Bafana. Tomorrow we'll carry that question over. But let's hand it up to Sakina to wrap this one up.
Well, thank you so much, Leanne. And back here at the NAFCOC conference, it's the 54th edition of it. And we are talking now about the question that has been on everybody's lips. It's very much top of mind for most people, expropriation of land without compensation. And one of the NAFCOC affiliates, the National African Farmers Union of South Africa, NAFU, they say that expropriating land without compensation will actually damage the economy. And we're joined by Mr. Motsepe Matlala, who is the president of NAFU. And we're also joining us right now here, the new members to the panel is from the NEF, Mr. Nyembe here to my right, Nhlanhla Nyembe. So they're going to talk to us as well as the panelists who have remained, Dr. Mazwai and Mr. Mavundla. But let me start with the president of NAFU with regard to your sentiments on land expropriation without compensation. If you could just kindly explain to us why you feel that this will damage the economy.
Well, I think one of the things that we have ignored over many, many years is the actual and practical truths that have not been spoken that relate to African people in South Africa. And the reason for that is that the difference between politics and economy are two different things. We believe very sincerely that land is priceless, and there should not be any reason why land should be sold. Land belongs to God, and that is why we have called for the nationalization of the land. However, the expropriation of land without compensation, what we have a displeasure about is this without compensation, because we believe very sincerely, particularly in line with our evidence-based submission to the CRC, that in the past this land was not sold, and if you then take what has been improved on the land from let me say, from the white occupants, then obviously the economy may not necessarily be very kind to the country. It is not about whites. It is not about blacks. It is about all of us. And I think all of us must understand that it is not a mistake that anybody is white, that anybody is black. We have to be a little bit smarter to work together in making sure that the poor communities of our country are taken on board without any apologies.
Now, this question of expropriation of land without compensation, Mr. Nyembe, from an empowerment perspective from the NEF side, how is this likely to impact on small business?
I think as the National Empowerment Fund, actually we see an opportunity, because I think one of the challenges that are facing small businesses, but also businesses that are pioneered by communities, especially in rural areas, is exactly access to land. Like for instance, you see, as the National Empowerment Fund, we've already started funding businesses, for instance, say in rural areas. So as an entity, I think we geared in terms of having programs to support any program around expropriation of land, where we've assisted communities to commercialize operations around land. Not only in terms of, say, for instance, creating new businesses, but also in terms of creating jobs, but also assisting those communities or those businesses basically to plug into the value chains in those particular industries.
All right, Ms. Nyembe, hold it right there.
Yeah.
We need to take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue this conversation.